Did you see AOC goes to a dinner that's $30,000 to $35,000 a head to be there, and then she wears a dress. She wears a dress saying "tax the rich" after partying with the rich. She wears this dress that's $1,000, hanging out with millionaires and billionaires, and she sports this dress saying "tax the rich," and people go bonkers over it. What a noble human being she is.
Is it hypocrisy? What is the word for this?
Stupidity.
No, first of all, I will tell you what it is. Number one is genius marketing. Okay,
for her.
I
actually agree.
I think it's genius marketing. She's a genius when it comes down to marketing. I don't care what anybody says. They're pissed off because she comes up with these ideas. In the area of marketing, you couldn't have had a better person, a better marketer for the message of socialism. You couldn't have had a better marketer.
A rich girl who chose to vacation in poverty and gives a story about, I couldn't pay my bills because I was bartending in New York. First of all, anybody who knows anybody who bartends in New York, they make cake. All right, that's number one. Number two,
they spend it all on rent, so it's not like their net worth is anything.
rent and other things. But she couldn't afford, right, to live her life because this is the part of the story that nobody ever talks about. She was spending all day volunteering on the Bernie Sanders campaign. She was an unpaid employee for Bernie Sanders. So she's telling capitalism is the worst. I had to work and I was overqualified and underpaid because Bernie Sanders didn't pay her well enough. She wants to talk like she's Jenny from the block. She's Jenny from Westchester. She went to BU, dude. Stop it with this. We got as a people, as a globe, we have to be able to look at something and say, this is basura. This is pure trash. Enough of this already. Tax the rich, $3,500. She spent $5,000. $35,000.
$275 per table. Let me say this again. Yeah. It's $35,000 a person. $30,000 to $35,000. Each table was
tax
$275.
But people that are richer than me, I'm not rich. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just AOC from the block.
So here's the question. She shows up. There's probably a couple thousand people here. What's the storyline when she shows up? Are people shaking her hand? Are they giving her a hug? Give her a kiss? Is she a rock star there? Do they hate her? She's sitting in the corner. Are people being like, "We love you"? Like, what's the scenario there?
I think those who are holding up to messaging of Democrats, they have to agree with her whether they like it or not because they're worried about being canceled.
Oh my God, you're so right. You're so brave.
The fear of being canceled. Because here's how you got to do it. So what's more expensive, 50% taxes or losing those 3 movies? What's more expensive?
Yeah, the movies.
Yeah, who gives a shit about 50% tax? I can't lose that movie at $20 million a pop, $10 million a pop. So I'm like, listen, you're amazing. You're amazing, but it's a form of control. It is a form of cancel culture. The fear in actors, Hollywood, they're so worried about it. Very few of them are willing to come out and say, this woman's lost her freaking mind, because if they do that, they can potentially lose the next job that's coming out in Hollywood. Everyone in Hollywood's afraid right now, except for some of the guys that are stepping away saying, look, we don't give a shit what you're going to be doing. We're going to do our own thing, and we don't need you guys anymore. We're going to do our own thing. Yeah. I think there's a coup going on in Hollywood as well, low key.
You've got Bernie Sanders. All right, Bernie Sanders, not 1, not 2, but 3 houses, makes $1 million. He donates less than 1% of that. Less than 1% he donates. When the one journalist left in America asks him a question, it was like, so what would you say to people who are claiming hypocrisy with your crusade against the rich when you are in fact rich? Well, if they wanted to be rich, they should have wrote a book. Like, oh, okay, that's the answer. How much money has she made off this tax the rich merch? She is the most capitalist in D.C. She's got an entire tax.
She's a great marketer.
And I'm going to tell you what's going on.
She'd make a hell of a CMO.
This is the truth.
Hell of a CMO.
Do you see this right here?
By the way, we'd hire her right now. If she could set aside her socialistic tendencies, we'd hire her right now.
You see this right here? This is the crux of all the issues, gentlemen. This right here? She's a Latina from the Bronx, ain't got no booty. That's what's happening here.
Oh, Gerard went there.
She needs to redistribute.
You're about to be canceled.
She needs to redistribute. She saw. Look, if anybody's ever been in a BX, anybody's ever been uptown.
Here we go.
You get a Dominican.
You just got personal, bro.
You got a Dominican or a Puerto Rican girl. They walk in hips first everywhere they go.
Gerard.
She got upset. She's mad. She's mad. This is why she wants to.
There's a level above vaccine you don't talk about. He went there.
He went there.
She needs to redistribute
Puerto
the butt
Rican
cheeks.
without a booty. He went there. It's funny. funny. You bring up the Bernie Sanders thing, and I'm not a fan of Bernie, but I will say this. If you're freaking 80 years old and you've been making, I don't know, what do you get paid? 180 grand a year? And you don't have any money, you don't have a house?
He's never had a real job. But he's only ever worked off of the government dole.
Regardless, that's his job. Okay?
He's a parasite.
Whatever he is, the point is this. If you're 80 years old and you're still broke, that's probably a bigger problem. At least he's
broke.
He's not. That's my point. He's like, to have a house and to be a millionaire at age 80 is not that big of an accomplishment. Congratulations. You've saved 10% of your income. And
tell you this.
You get your benefits and your pension. It's not that big of a deal.
She has a 10 to 20% chance of being a president in the next 20 years. Remember when I said this?
What are the chances that she gets Gerard's vote?
Dude, the Green New Deal, it's gonna pass.
Yeah.
Like, she's winning.
She's got 10 to 20% chance of being a
AOC
president.
Antoinette, let them eat brunch. She doesn't need our vote. By the time she becomes
That's a good
president,
one. Let them eat brunch.
Let them eat brunch, bro.
The French Revolution.
AOC Antoinette over here.
I like that parallelogram you did right there.
It's a parallels.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.